Cheshire Cheese Company make award-winning cheeses, and what's pretty unique about us is the variety of flavours. So caramelised onion and rioja, we do a tequila, chili and lime, we do a gin and lemon, a whole range. There's a number of tax obligations when you're running a small company, or any company. I guess the main thing is to just be aware of that. So if you're making profit, you're going to have to pay tax on that. So you don't want to wait till the end of the year and realise you've actually spent the profit and then you've got no money to pay your tax bill.
My name's Paul Donno. I'm Director of One Accounts Online. We're a specialist online accountants. We've been running for 3.5 years and current winners of the British Accountancy Awards Practice of the Year. Tax. It is part of your business. You have to know your obligations. If you don't pay your tax on time, you will get fined, you will get penalties, and you will get interest charged to you. It's as simple as that. The most common obligation for a business owner is the completion of a self-assessment tax return. You fill that in once a year. The filing deadline is the 31st of January. I would certainly recommend that you don't file it in January with everyone else, because you're then not going to know your tax bill until until the last minute. But the taxes that go on there in terms of the income that you put on there is certainly, if you're a sole trader, your profit from your business will go on there, and then that will determine what income tax, Class 2 and Class 4 national insurance you'll pay. As a director of a company, your salary and your dividends will go on there. Also, if you sell any property or any assets, you're going to pay capital gains tax. Again, that is put on your self-assessment tax return. And any other form of income, like personal bank interest, dividends from companies, etc. Again, they all form part of that return, and that return goes to the Inland Revenue, and then that will generate your tax bill, which is for the 31st of January, and also if you make payments on account, that will also be by the 31st of July. The next tax obligation is value-added tax, VAT. If you're a VAT registered business, you need to be declaring the amount that you owe the Inland Revenue on a quarterly basis. You need to, first of all, charge VAT to your customer, reclaim any VAT that you've been charged, and then the net difference is the amount that you normally pay over to HM Revenue and customers. And you do that on a VAT return, and then you make that payment to the Inland Revenue once you've submitted it online. Another stage of a business life is to employ people. To do that, you need to deduct the PAYE, i.e. their tax, and national insurance, the employee's national insurance, and the employer's national insurance. Those deductions are then paid over to the Inland Revenue. I would certainly recommend that you don't do that manually anymore. You use software, and again, make sure that you comply with when they should go to the Inland Revenue, and also when you have to pay your PAYE and NI. Corporation tax is the tax that a business, a limited company, has to pay to the Inland Revenue. So that is based on the profit of the business, and then a percentage applied to that profit goes via a corporation tax return to the Inland Revenue, and then you have to pay that 9 months after your accounting year end date. We would always recommend that you go through your accountant and get them to submit it for you, so that you know that when you submit it to the Inland Revenue, you're going to pay the right amount of tax.
So we're VAT registered, so we have to do a quarterly VAT return. There's obviously corporation tax to pay at the end of each year, so we get our accountant to do most of that. It's not really my area of expertise.
You can't blame anybody other than yourself if you haven't paid your tax. Keep on top of your tax obligations, and what I would recommend is you write it on your calendar. Put the dates on your calendar, the dates that you've got to submit and the dates that you've got to pay. And I'm not just talking about your own personal income tax, you know, make sure you do that for your VAT, your PAYE, your corporation tax. You know, there's a lot of different dates that you've got to understand. Put them on the calendar, and then hopefully you'll meet your obligations that at the end of the day are your responsibility.
I guess running a business, one of the disciplines is keeping on top of your tax affairs, because it's a legal obligation, and the Inland Revenue, you know, aren't impressed if you just say I forgot. But it is just about bringing up in a diary that reminds me that that has to be done, and putting a bit of time to one side to do it.